Your cat is asleep right now, or they were earlier today, and the way they arranged their body when they drifted off, the specific shape they chose, the place they picked, the direction they faced, none of it was random. Most owners look at a sleeping cat and see exactly that. A sleeping cat, peaceful, still, unreachable, something to glance at and smile about and move on from. But what behavioral science has found about feline sleep positions is that every choice a cat makes before they close their eyes is a direct and readable expression of their emotional and physiological state. The curl, the sprawl, the loaf, the faceplant, the pressed-in position. Each one is a sentence in a language that has been playing out on your sofa and your bed every single day. And once you know how to read it, what you see will never just be a sleeping cat again. Let us talk about what is really happening. 1. The curl. Nose to tail, tight and contained. The tightly curled sleeping position, sometimes called the crescent, is the most ancient sleep posture in the feline behavioral vocabulary. Nose tucked toward the tail, body folded inward, all four paws pulled close. It is the shape a cat returns to when their nervous system says protect the core. The evolutionary logic is direct. The abdomen is the most vulnerable part of any animal's body. It contains no bone protection. It is where a strike is most likely to be fatal. An animal sleeping in a tight curl has made their most vulnerable surface as inaccessible as possible. When your cat sleeps curled tightly in the middle of a shared space, near you but contained, it carries a specific reading. They feel safe enough to sleep, which is itself significant. But there is still a thread of guardedness in the shape. The nervous system has not fully let go. The body is resting, but maintaining the option to respond. This is not a sign of distress. It is simply the middle of the trust spectrum. Comfortable, present, but not yet at the deepest level of biological openness that the most secure bonds produce. Over time, as a relationship deepens, many cats gradually shift away from the tight curl toward more open positions. The uncurling of a sleeping cat is, in its quiet way, a record of a bond deepening. 2. The sprawl. Belly up, legs extended, nothing held back. If the tight curl represents guardedness, the sprawl is its exact opposite. Legs stretched out in multiple directions, belly fully exposed, body loose and heavy with the particular weight of complete unconsciousness. This is a cat whose nervous system has turned off every protective alert simultaneously. Exposing the belly during sleep is, in evolutionary terms, an enormous biological risk. A cat lying with their abdomen exposed is a cat who cannot protect their most vulnerable surface in an instant. They have made themselves maximally vulnerable. And they have done it here, in this space, with you nearby. Research into animal sleep behavior has consistently found that full dorsal exposure, belly-up positioning, occurs most reliably in environments that the animal has assessed as completely safe. Not just familiar, not just comfortable, safe enough to afford total vulnerability. When your cat sprawls beside you or near you with their belly to the air, they are not simply finding a comfortable position. They have run an unconscious threat assessment of their entire environment and concluded that nothing here requires them to stay ready. That assessment includes you. You are part of the calculation that produced that sprawl. And the sprawl is, in the most biological sense, its result. 3. The loaf. Paws tucked, eyes half open, entirely composed. The loaf position, body upright with all four paws tucked under and tail wrapped around the base, is the sleeping position most specific to cats and one of the most frequently misread. Many owners see a loafing cat and assume they are not truly asleep. They look so composed, so deliberate, so awake. They are often genuinely resting, in a lighter sleep phase, with just enough awareness maintained to be able to respond if needed. The paws tucked beneath the body serve a dual purpose. They conserve body heat, and they keep the limbs in a position from which the cat can move immediately. The loaf is the position of a cat who is comfortable but remains lightly on duty. It tends to occur most often in cats who are in a familiar environment, but where something in the background, mild ambient activity, an unfamiliar sound from outside, a slight change in the household routine, is keeping their monitoring system at a low simmer. And if this is changing the way you see your cats rest right now, go ahead and subscribe. Every video on this channel is built around what the science actually says, not what we assume. What we cover next reveals something most owners have completely misread for years. 4. The faceplant. Forehead down, face pressed into the surface. The face plant is one of the most immediately endearing positions a cat can sleep in. Head down, face pressed directly into the paws or the surface beneath them, ears flattened by gravity. It looks ridiculous. It looks deeply uncomfortable. It looks like something a human might do at the end of a very long day. In terms of what it signals, the face plant is one of the clearest indicators of deep, high-quality sleep. A cat whose face is pressed into a surface has committed, fully, to unconsciousness. The position requires no monitoring, no maintained alertness, no readiness. The head is down. The visual system is offline. The posture says, without ambiguity, I am all the way out. The face plant tends to occur most frequently in cats who are deeply comfortable, deeply warm, and deeply safe in their specific location. It is also commonly seen in cats who are genuinely tired, following a period of play or activity that has genuinely depleted their energy reserves. In this case, it can carry a specific reading about the quality of enrichment in their environment. A cat who faceplants after an engaged, active period of play is a cat whose day had substance to it. That depth of sleep was earned. 5. Pressed against you. The choice that changes what the position means. Every position we have covered so far carries its own meaning. But there is a variable that changes what any position means when it is present. And that variable is you. A cat who sprawls alone in an empty room has chosen a safe space. A cat who sprawls directly against your leg has chosen you as the safest space. The position is the same. The message is different. When a cat chooses to sleep in contact with a specific human, the meaning of their sleep posture shifts from a statement about the environment to a statement about the relationship. Research into cat sleep behavior in multi-human households has found that cats are highly selective about which specific person they choose to sleep against. Not just which space. Which person. The choice is not about warmth alone. A cat who wanted warmth could find the radiator, the sunlit floor, the sofa cushion that holds heat for hours. The choice of a specific human body as a sleep surface is a choice about something that radiator cannot provide. When your cat sleeps pressed against you, in whatever position they have chosen, they have made two decisions simultaneously. They have decided this is the safest body to be near. And they have decided, from all the places in their world, this is where they want to be when they are at their most completely unguarded. 6. The position changes. This is where it gets specific. Many owners notice that their cat does not always sleep the same way. They cycle through positions across different times of day, different locations, different contexts. And this cycling carries information that most people never think to decode. A cat who sleeps in a tight curl in the morning but sprawls in the afternoon has had a morning where something kept their monitoring system slightly elevated, and an afternoon where everything resolved into ease. A cat who loafs in shared spaces but faceplants alone in a quieter room is telling you that the shared environment still holds just enough ambient activation to prevent fully letting go. And a cat who used to sleep sprawled against you and has begun sleeping curled tightly in a separate space, without any other change in behavior, is worth paying attention to. As we covered in a previous video, changes in sleep position and location can be early indicators of physical discomfort. Cats who are in pain or unwell tend to return to the tight curl, the protective position, even in environments where they previously felt safe enough to sprawl. The body is drawing inward. If the change is persistent and unexplained, a conversation with your vet is worth having. 7. What their position tells you about your home. Step back from the specific sleeping positions for a moment and consider what the overall pattern of how your cat sleeps reveals about the environment you have built for them. A cat who sprawls, who faceplants, who sleeps belly up in shared spaces is a cat living in an environment their nervous system trusts completely. Every one of those open positions is a form of biological testimony. The cat is telling you, through the specific arrangement of their body during their most vulnerable hours, that this place is safe, that these people are safe, that nothing here requires them to maintain readiness. A cat who consistently sleeps in tight curls, who loafs in shared spaces but never sprawls, who sleeps in high or hidden locations rather than open shared surfaces, may be a cat whose environment still holds too much unpredictability, too much noise, too much activation for their nervous system to fully release. Not afraid, not unhappy necessarily, but not yet at the level of safety that produces those open, unguarded, belly-up sleeping shapes. The sleeping cat tells the truth that the waking cat can sometimes mask. Watch where they sleep. Watch how they position themselves. Watch whether those positions change over time as your relationship deepens. Because the uncurling of a sleeping cat, the gradual shift from contained and guarded to open and unguarded, is one of the quietest and most honest measures of trust that exists in the animal world. If you watched this and went looking in your memory for how your cat sleeps, if a specific position surfaced, a specific location, a specific way they arrange themselves against you or near you, that memory just became something different. A sentence you finally know how to read. Every video on this channel begins the same way, with a question most cat owners have never stopped to ask. And then we go looking for the real answer. Not the simplified version, not the comfortable assumption, the actual science, the studies, the behavioral research that takes years to surface and rarely reaches people in a way that feels like a real conversation. That is what we do here every single time. If this video gave you something, hit like, drop a comment, and tell us how your cat sleeps. And subscribe, because what we are covering next will change the way you see your cat all over again. The more you understand them, the closer you get to something most people spend a lifetime living beside and never fully seeing. And that is always worth staying for.